Welcome back, guys, welcome back. How are we all? All well, I hope. It's pouring rain here at the moment, so it's going to be pretty noisy because I've only just got a tin roof above my head here. So yeah, we might end up with a bit of rain, a bit of noise. I'll just try and get that music right now. Yeah, good morning, Grey Dog. Good day, Razor. How are you doing, buddy? All good? You'll get to see what I've got on the table in front of me here in a minute. Well, on top of my lathe with my little board on it again, as usual. Just going to be doing casting tonight, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too long. Not a long stream like we normally have. But we'll get done what we need to get done, hopefully. I've done a fair bit of preparation today, getting a few things ready. Brett, how are you, buddy? Just going to give the old specs a bit of a rub with this paper towel here, just so I can see what I'm doing. Well, yeah, so I've done a bit of work today getting all the molds ready, and I'm also going to try and put a little bit of holographic pigment into these Burl Chameleon hybrid blanks as well, which you'll see shortly. So most of the casting tonight is just going to be clear, with the exception of maybe the one that I'm doing for Brett, which will be done in this mold here. If this one is not successful, because it's 90 mil or so deep, but if I can't get down deep enough with the pigment, I really need some skewer sticks. That's what I really need, rather as little toothpicks. But we'll see how it goes. I might get enough out of that anyway, if we get time. So I'm going to do the other. I've got 5 hybrids in the table here in front of me, which you'll see shortly. If we get through those 5, which should be relatively quick, because like I said, it's all clear, but I am going to try putting a tiny little bit of holographic pigment into it as well. And I think that'll just give them another little bit of a dimension as opposed to just being plain clear, hopefully. And if we can get through those 5 and get to this one, then I'll do this one as the one that's going to be used for Brett's handle, like I said. And if this one doesn't work, then I'll probably end up doing a casting in one of these open blanks that I've got in front of me, molds, sorry. I'll do Brett's one in one of these ones where I can actually get access to it easier, and you know, I think we'll get a better effect. But we'll try it in this because I have had some good success with these as well, and we'll see how it goes. If not, it will still make a good handle for another brush anyway. But if I don't get the effect I want out of this one, then I'll do it in one of these other molds. So that's the plan at this stage. Like I said, the other ones I've got in front of me are all pretty much just going to be poured and clear. So it shouldn't take us too long, like I said, but I am going to have a bit of mixing, so just bear with me along the way. If you've got any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'll check the chat every 5-10 minutes, and we can have a chat, and if there's any questions there, I'll try and answer them as best I can, right, so you're all just saying your good days, that's good. Oh, you're waiting on another slow doctor, mate. All good, all good. Okay. I'll just show you what I've got on the table and I'll explain to you what we're doing, and then we'll get cracking, eh? And I'll start mixing up some of the clears and getting them ready for going into these moulds. So the moulds are pretty much all ready. I made up the chipboard melamine moulds today. The other one in HDPE you've already seen. That's the one that I'm going to be casting razors brush in, because I just need a little bit bigger a blank in size. The other ones are a little bit smaller, a little bit more undersized. They're back to my sort of standard size, or just over my standard size. But I'll flick you to the other camera now. Now I'm just trying to think which camera is probably going to be best. We'll go to 2 for now, and that'll let you see what I've got in front of me on the table here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the melamine chipboard blanks, which I'm going to molds that I'm going to try. I have put a little bit of mold release on the melamine as well, but melamine is supposed to free from epoxy resin fairly easily as well, so that's why I'm going to try these. They're slightly higher than normal, so I'm after a 45 by 40 or 43, I think it was, 43 by 43 blank. So if I pour the clear resin in these till I'm about 4 or 5 mil from the top, that should give me my squarer type blank. So you'll see what I've done with these. These have all been screwed together. They're all set in the melamine, and I've already put the burl in there, and I've also put a little bit of hot melt glue on the bottom of them just to hold the burl in place. I don't think the resin would float the burl, because the burl's been stabilised in resin anyway, so it's fairly heavy, and I think it would sit in the bottom of the mould anyway, but I've just done that as a secondary precaution. You'll also see this time round I've taped up all the joints in the melamine, because what I'm hoping to do here is I'm hoping that I don't get any air bubbles in and around like we did in the last blanks, where when it went under pressure, I think it's blowing air in through the joints back into the mould, and because the resin's there, it's just bubbled around the edges of the blank. So hopefully this time we should eliminate that. If we do get a little bit, the corners normally get taken off anyway, so it's no big deal. But I've done that with these 4, and then we've got the one here for Razor as well, which is going to be his replacement one. And again, I've got that in the bigger mould, and again it's been sort of locked into place so that the burl doesn't float in the resin. So that's what I've got. Now I've also got, as you'll see on here now, I've also got some of the holographic pigments that I'm going to be using. Okay, so these are the holographic ones. And I'm thinking that if I just put a tiny little bit in, it'll just give a little bit more interest in that clear resin, as opposed to just being totally clear and then the chameleon in the background. So we'll still get the benefit of seeing the chameleon on the inside of the burl, but we should get a little bit of a halo-y, sparkly, glittery type effect within the clear as well, rather as it just being plain clear. Okay, now Razor, if you don't want that in yours, let me know now and I won't put it in, but I think it will just add another little bit of a dimension to the handle, and that's why I'm sort of suggesting that we put it in. Now what I've done is I've gone with a teal blue for Razor's one, because I think that'll just work in well with the sort of the red and the other colours that we're going to get in there. With this pinkish one that I've got other colours in as well, I'm going to put lilac in that one, so that's the lilac there. And this one here, I'm going to put rose gold. And this one we're going to put gold in, so that's the gold. I should actually bring them closer to the camera, so I'll start from this end. We're going to put green in that one, that is the green one. We're going to put gold in that second last one, and that's the gold there. We're going to put rose gold in this one, that's the rose gold. You've seen the rose gold in the other blanks I've done anyway. Then I'm going to put lilac in this one, and that's the lilac. And then in this one we're going to put teal blue, which is Razor's one. So I might even put teal blue and maybe a little bit of lilac in Razor's one, if depending how he goes with that. Yeah, good, excellent. Good choice, Razor. I think it'll just add a little bit more interest and a little bit more dimension to the brush, mate, rather than it just being all clear with a chameleon on the inside of the burl. I think it will just add a little bit more to it, you know. But I don't want to put as much in as what I put in these ones here. I'm not going to put in as much as that. That looks a lot, but once that's actually turned, it'll look a lot less, and you'll see a lot more of the transparent through it and the clear. And obviously that one was the rose gold. I mean, if I hold light behind that, actually I should show you that because you will see it. So if I get my phone out and I bring on my my light. So there you go, you can see the light comes through. It's pretty transparent, but we'll get that holographic type effect hopefully in there. But I'm not going to put as much in there as what we've got in this one. It will just be a tiny little bit just to take it away from clear, but add a little bit of colour and a little bit of dimension into the handle. Okay, and that's the same. That one's the same. That's the holographic black. So again, you can see it's got the light comes through it. And then we had the gold there as well. So again, you can see the gold. Okay. All right. So the rain's gone off at the moment. So we'll see how we go. Now I've got the pressure pot and everything's ready to go because we'll be putting all these in the pressure pot at the same time. Or, you know, maybe two at a time or something like that, depending on how long it takes us to mix up the clear for each one. And we'll put them in. Razor's one will be the last one to go in the pot. Now I've already checked that they do fit in the pot as well, so there's no big drama there. I've put a different base in the bottom of the inside of the pot so that it'll let them sit, and I'll get two in first, then I'll put two on the top of the dime, and then Razor's one sits right on the top of that, and then we put the whole thing under vacuum again. So that's where we're at. So I've got the resin and everything here. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's just on random, mate, so it'll just play away as it should do. If it does get too loud or anything, I'll try and monitor the on the screen here, the levels, and I'll try and keep it balanced if I need to. But so far it seems to be okay. This is the second stream on that other set of batteries after I changed it. So just, if my voice drops out, again, just drop it in the chat. Keep telling me in the chat if anything changes, and hopefully I'll pick it up in between what I'm doing. Okay, so let's get cracking, eh? So I'm going to mix up part A first, and it's three parts, so keep an eye on me, make sure I don't get these wrong. Remember, I mixed it up the last time. So we've got three parts of this one and one part of the other one to make up. Okay, that's one. Straight in. I should actually make up a little stick or something where I can sit that so that it continues to drain in there and pour the next one. It's fairly viscous, so it flows reasonably well. It's not too bad at all. Yeah, it's just a bit hard. I mean, you got so many things to try and watch, you know, and keep an eye on, and while you're doing this at the same time. So I'm going to go and get myself some rechargeables and a little charger, and I'll have a couple of sets of rechargeables. And then at least that way, when I'm finished the stream, I can put them back on charge or whatever. And I should, if I get myself a couple of sets, then I should always have a fully charged set. When I come out here, I can just put the new ones in it. Because I definitely think the lavalier microphone is definitely better than having the sound coming through the camera. It's still going through the camera, but it's just being picked up with these as opposed to picked up with the Handycam mic. This just gives a clearer, better sound, I think. So when we put these in the pressure pot, we'll actually be putting them under the normal pressure, which is around about 50 psi. So that's the third one of them. What I might do is I might put a couple of marks on the side of that cup too, and in that way when I pour the next one, that way I'll know if I've got 3 or 4 or whatever I've done. So that's part A, so we'll keep that over there. That's part B. So if I just put a little mark on that cup there, we know that's 3 parts. And it doesn't want to. Oh, there we go, there's a mark there now. Alright, so we'll pour part B now. That'll do that. I'll just sit those lids on it just loosely at the moment, just so that we don't get any rubbish in there. And we'll pour part B in now. And I might try and take you to camera 3, just so you can get a top-down shot. And I'll just get straight into mixing this now. Well, that's actually, I should mark that as well. So that's up there somewhere. That was that one there. I'll probably rub them off with my fingers anyway. It's not a permanent marker, that one. So like I said, all I'm going to do is just keep mixing clear up at that rate, and then I'll just keep filling the molds up until each one's filled. And we just want to be about sort of 4 or 5 mil from the top, and hopefully if that tape stops the bubbling on the inside, it's no big deal if it happens, but I'd prefer not to have it there if we can. So hopefully having the tape around the molds is going to prevent that. Okay, so I'll bring the mould into the centre of the table so that you can actually see what happens once we put the colour in, or once we put the clear in, I should say. So that's the green one there that you're seeing now. And I'm just going to pour, should give it a quick blow, just make sure we've got no dust settled in there. The place is pretty clean. I cleaned all the place up today again. And I'm just going to pour it in nice and slow. And I want the resin to fill up all the voids, work its way around the mould. And the good thing about having the extra 5mm on the top of the mould is that it allows for a little bit of leeway. So once it goes under vacuum, if the vacuum does push the resin into areas where it's maybe not flowing into, although it should flow in okay, but it will give us a reserve there that the resin can pull from. Yeah, it's actually coming up the side here now, so I can see it's gone into all the crevices and everything as well, so hopefully that'll be all good. And I'm just letting that fill up there now. And what I might do is I might actually take it up a fair bit higher. Okay, and then I'm just going to give that a wipe, so I'll leave that sit over here for now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this green holographic in there now. There it is. It's a real green, but I only need the tiniest, smallest amount of this. Otherwise we'll make it go too green. So that's all I'm going to put in, and that's pretty flat on the stick. Maybe a tad more, probably about that. And that's all I'm going to do. I'll put the lid back on that, so we're done with that one. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag a little cocktail stick through that. And I'm hoping that that's going to go down and into the resin and just give us a little bit of a look in there, instead of just being clear. And that's not too bad. If anything, I would have said we could have probably put just a little bit more in, but I don't want it to go too strong, you know, so we'll go a little touch. This was my stuff that came from America that I waited about 2.5 months on due to the postal issues with COVID out of America. So the gear sat in Miami for about the best part of 2 and a bit months, and then all of a sudden it arrived in Australia and I had it pretty quickly. So I don't think you'll be seeing the holographic stuff in there at this point in time. I might keep that there. I'll try and lift it back up closer to the camera. There you go. Just going to get my positioning right. So yeah, so there's the holographic stuff. The greeny glitter in there with the green. Okay, so that's one done. And I might just top up the resin. And that should do that. And then this lot can go into the next mould. So I'll take the lid off the pressure pot and I'll sit that in there now. And that's sitting in there quite nicely. And that's looking nice. Let's hope they all go like that, and let's hope they all turn out okay. Next one. So we'll get rid of that green pigment because we've done that one now. Get rid of that. You can certainly see the colours, I can see the colours come right out in that once the clear gets over it. And I'll just pour the rest in fairly quickly because it's going to settle itself anyway. Just give that a wipe so we don't get any drips on the table. And in this one we're going with the gold in this one. So again, just small amounts, tiny little amount. We'll get rid of that one. I'm just going to use that same little cocktail stick and just mix that gold down into there. Because we want the pigment to travel through it, and we don't want it to be concentrated in one spot. We just want it mixed through, so it just creates a different look. And I think we've got that there. And we'll just top up a little bit of resin again. And then the last of that resin I'll just sit in this one. And I'll let that run into there. And this one can go in the pressure pot. Yeah, I think I've got enough where I want it. Okay, then that one can go in the pressure pot. Okay, that's two done. So I might actually get them under pressure now while we do the other ones, because I've got to go back to mixing more now. So I don't know if, yeah, we're probably not catching the pressure pot. That shot's probably the best shot for there, I think. Yeah, that's the best shot for there, so we'll leave that one. What I might do is I might turn this one round and up. And we might catch the pressure pot over there. We'll just give that a little bit of a tighten there. So you'll see the pressure pot there. Not that there's much to say, guys, but we'll go to camera 2 for that one. So there's the pressure pot. And I'm just going to connect up the air to that. So pressure pot's turned off. Air on. And then we'll just slowly let the air in. Don't want to let the air go in too quick, or what it will do is it will blow the resin out of the moulds and we'll end up with resin everywhere inside the pressure pot. So we're up at just over 40 psi. And that's us on 50. So hopefully that'll be good for that. And we've now got a little bit of resin in this one. Back to mixing now. So we'll go back to 3. So there's one. Yeah, satay skewers are what I've got to try and pick up, mate. They'll be a lot better. Those ones are okay for these open moulds though. It's the PVC tube ones that you've got to be a little bit more deeper with. But we'll get there. Now that doesn't want to work, but I've got enough there now anyway. That's the 2 top ones, so I know when I get to there that's 3 cups. I'm going to put the last one in, that's 4. So we're all good. We'll see how we go by the time we do the, well, mind you, Razor's one's going to be the last one, and that'll be on the top, so we probably won't be able to have a look at these tonight, guys, unfortunately. It will probably be the next stream, which will be Sunday night, so I'll be able to take these out. Hopefully what I can do is, before the stream, I can demold them and get them ready, and then we can have a look at them Sunday night, and then we might make another handle. Now I'm thinking that I might leave these to cure for a little bit, but I might actually do Brett's other handle if the blanks turn out okay. So I might turn Brett's other handle on Sunday, and then after that we'll get Razors done. And then after that, I'll probably get on to doing some of Serjan's handles that I've got to do for him. And then somewhere in between all that, we'll maybe turn one of these new hybrids up. Obviously razors will be the first one to go. Okay, so that's that. Now we'll go part B. And we can throw that one in. All right, back to mixing. See what you guys are saying. Looks like you guys are having a bit of fun in there, right? The bank account is looking very grim at the moment, to be honest. With the amount of money I've spent on this streaming gear and cameras and computers and the mixer was the expensive part. That was nearly $1,100 just for the mixer, for the video and the audio mixer. So $1,100 for that. Then I had the 3 cameras. I think the one camera I had, but it was about a $700 camera, and then the other 2 have been sort of $300–400. So there's been a bit of cost. There's a bit of cost just in the cables alone as well. But look, you know, it's one of those things. I enjoy doing it, so why not? Right, that one's mixed, so we'll scrape the excess back into the cap. And we'll do the same again here. We'll try and get the 2 poured. So we'll bring this one over, keep that separate, and again we're just going to fill this one up now. And these are all going to have different colours in them. They're going to show different colours in different ways. I mean, obviously the shape of the burl's different as well, and that will reflect the colour differently. So yeah, they're all going to be very different. So I'll take that mould out of there for now, because this cup will go straight in there once I get this one done. Okay. Get rid of that excess so there's no drippies. Now this one was going to have the rose gold. Okay, so again, just a tiny little bit of rose gold. You can see it's a very, very fine. I mean, it basically floats on the top until I stir it. And these little pots, I mean, these halo glitters and the holographic glitters. I keep saying halo, it's actually holographic. And the chameleon pigments cost a small fortune too, and those tubs are just tiny, as you can see, but you only use a tiny little bit, you know, so yeah, okay, so now we'll get into that one with a little bit of the rose gold. So what it's actually doing is, as I'm pushing that holographic glitter down into the blank, it's actually creating little spirally type looks as well, but you know, obviously once the resin starts to cure, it will form its own thing anyway. So what we do is, you know, okay, that's that one done, and then I'll just stick the rest in this one now. Well, that one's filling up pretty quick. Well, that's good. We might actually, oh, we might end up a little tiny little bit short. Yeah, I think it's going to end up just a tiny, tiny little bit short, that one. But that's all right. We can mix up a little bit more. I just want that cup to drain into there. And I'll move that one to the side for now, because that one's pretty much done. Okay, we'll mix up another lot, because we're going to need one and a bit anyway, or maybe even two to fill up the balance of razors one. So we'll get cracking on this again very quickly, and then we'll get these two in the pot as quickly as we can. So that'll do us there, there's one. Harrell, how you doing, buddy? So that's one. There's the rain back on, fellas. Don't know if you can hear it. If she gets heavy, we'll hear it all right. There's two. I'll lift that one up and show you in a tick, guys, or you can maybe see it in the camera there as well. But I'll lift it a bit closer once I get this other one sorted out, and then we'll get these two in the pressure pot. There's three. Okay, that'll do that one. And then we'll put that lid on there for a minute. Stick that there. We'll get one of these. Come on. It's that one. Okay, that'll do that. We'll give this a good mix up now. Okay. All right, so we're right to go again. So this one just needs topped up, and then we need to do a little bit of the holographic glitter in that one as well. And that should do that. And I might just sit the rest of this into this one. Oh, we might be lucky actually. We'll see how that settles in. I might have to do up just a little bit more. We'll see how that settles in though. I'll let that drain there. Okay, this one we're going with the lilac. And I'm going to put a little bit of lilac and teal in Resin's one. I think that'll look quite effective, I think. And that one doesn't seem to be as strong. That was the lilac, wasn't it? Yeah. Might put a little bit more lilac in. Tiny, tiny little amount, aye. Okay, I'll let you see these because these ones can go in the pressure pot. So that's the one with the rose gold in it. It's catching the light more. It actually looks quite nice. I don't think you're getting the full effect of it there. And then this is the one with the lilac in it. So I'm going to release the pressure. From the pressure pot, and we'll put these two in. And we can actually do razors as well, because the mold has filled. Just get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. And that one can go in the bin now. Put that out the way for now. We'll get these two in. Close that up. So I'll put you back to that other camera for now. Yep, so those two are settling in nicely. Now we'll put these two in. And I'm trying to keep them to that one side of the pot. So that we don't get a rush of air in there. And now with this one, we're going to put these two powders in, just small amounts of each. We've got a lot more clear in this handle, but this handle is going to be shorter in height anyway because it's a chubby style, that I want to still get some of this through it. So go back to that camera so you can see what's going on here, and I'm going to use the stick this time. And I want all that stuff off the surface to get down into that clear. Okay. Now that was the lilac and this is the teal. And I'm going to try and get your swirling and the holographic down near the resin, down near the burl, because you're probably going to lose a lot of the top of this blank. And I think that'll do us. Okay, and this one will sit on the top of that just nicely. So you can see the other one just on top of the pressure pot there now. Okay, and that's those done. So we'll tighten that up and we'll put it back under pressure. Tighten these down fairly evenly. Okay, connect to air. That's just got air again. I'm just going to take that gauge up till we get to 50 psi again. So fairly slowly to start it off. And that's just on 50 psi. Okay. Wipe any spills. Right. I'm just going to give this mould a little bit of a spray with some mould release. So I'll be back in a tick, guys. Let me go over the other end of the shed. Oh, watch you don't get wires caught up. I nearly did. So just a tiny little bit of release in there. That's all I need. There we go. That's that. I'll just take any excess off. That's it. Right. Get rid of them because that's those all done. Bring in the new ones. So we've got fluorescent lime, we've got Kelly green, and we've got another green. These are all different pigments. I'm not sure how this one's going to work. These ones are tints. So they'll work as you've seen me doing them before. And I think what I'll probably end up having to do is I'll probably end up having to change my resin mix here now, because I don't think that's going to take so if we go 1.5, yeah, 1.5 and half a cup of B. So we'll go 1.5 cups of part A, and I think that should give us more than enough to fill that. So that's one. I'm hoping I can squeeze that one in the pressure pot too. Okay, that's one. We'll do a half now. So that was 60 mils. 60 mils, 30 mils is there. I better mark it so I can see it. If my marker will mark it, that is. So 30 mils is there. That's it, that's all I need. I must get myself another permanent marker. Okay, so we'll go half a cup. That's that. So it's a 3-to-1 mix, so that gives us 90 ml with the 1.5 cups. And then we should have half a cup. Doesn't look like it's going to fill it, to be honest, but we'll see how we go. That's 1.5, and then half a cup of part B, or 30 mils of part B. No worries, Sorrel. We'll catch you later, buddy. Won't be a long stream tonight. We'll probably be finished in about 10-15 minutes, I suppose, maybe. Yeah, around about 15 minutes, hopefully. Okay, so that's 1.5 part A. We need 30 ml part B. Come on. That'll let me see it. Look what I done. I forgot my coffee was here. Lukewarm. Lukewarm coffee. You can probably hear me drinking it too. You can probably hear it going down my throat with that microphone there. All right, that's gone. Now we need 30mm of this one, eh? And that's us. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. We may have to mix up more, but we'll see how we go. Now, which one was which? I think that's the smaller one. I don't know. I think it might be that one. Yeah, that one. That one. And I got a couple of drips on the floors. I'm just going to wipe them before standing them. Get rid of that. I don't think this is going to be enough, so I'm going to have to... Oh, it might be. We'll see. We'll see how we go. Right, I'm just going to go and see if my wife's got any skewers. I'll be back in a tick, guys. I'll be back in a tick. I'll just give you a bit of music, eh? Okay, it's going to be a little bit of an experimental. I couldn't find a bamboo skewer, so I'm going to use my one of my nice artist brushes, and I'll use the end of that, and then I can wipe the resin off or wipe the tint off after. It might be too thick though, and because it's got a glossy coating on it, it may not work with the tints so well. So I'll have a play, but like I said, if I have to cast another one, I'll cast another one down the track anyway. And this will always make another handle one way or another anyway. So we'll go with what we've got. I will need to pick up some skewers though. Just want them fine. I just want like a nice thin fine skewer, especially for the tints, because if you put too much tint in, the clear resin will just go that colour and you won't get any of the smoky swirls, and that's what it's the smoky swirls that I want to try and get. And I've got to do it into the mould. I can't do it in the cup and then pour it because you'll lose them as well. So it's got to be poured into the mould, and then the tint's going to be put in. But even if I can get them so far down, that'll be enough to give me the bottom section of the handle for Brett's handle. So we'll have a ply and we'll just see what the outcome is down the track. And if it's not what I want, this will be made into a handle for someone else. And then we'll cast another one, and I'll get some longer skewers. Okay, so I think that's all mixed now. You can see it's fairly clear in there now. There's a lot of bubbles, but they'll come out. So I'm going to pour it into here, which has had mould release already put on it. And if I don't have enough to fill this up, which I don't think I'm going to, then I'll have to mix up more. But that's good because it'll give the resin a little bit of time to set off anyway. Actually, that's probably going to be enough anyway, because I don't need the full mould, because we've got black to go on the top of this as well, see? So it's only a little bit shy, although I will have a little bit of waste. In the chuck. I might just drop a tiny little bit more of each in there, just to bring it up a touch. It'll be more of this one, and just a tiny little touch of the other one, just to fill it up. That'll do it. And we'll just have to give that a little stir. We can set that aside. All right, and that should give us enough just to fill that up, or a little bit more anyway. Because the top part will be about 25, anywhere between 25, say 22 up to 30 mil the top part, and then that means I need a lot less in the bottom section, so I think we'll be good with that now. Now, this is the part that I'm concerned about, because I don't know how this pigment is going to react. And I may even have to push it down further. Okay, we'll just sit that there for a minute. You can't have the pigment, this pigment, you can't have that pigment go too thick in here, because if you put it in too thick, what will happen is the pigment will stay as pigment, and it won't cure. So when you do the hollow one out, if the pigment comes through the edge of the handle, then you'll end up with a soft gummy spot in there. Now, this is probably one of the ones that I'm a little bit more concerned about, because this can just turn the resin the one colour. and I don't want to put too much in. So what we'll do with this one, Brett, is we'll, if you're still around, oh yeah, you are. What we'll do is I'll unmold this one down the track, and I'll let you have a look at it, and you can make up your mind as to whether it's good enough for your handle. And if it's not, we'll have a play with another one, but I'll do it in an open mold rather as this way. Because I don't think I'm going to get enough colour down into that mould where I want it. But we won't know for sure until we take it out the mould. And as you can see, I can't contaminate the tints with resin, so I've got to make sure I keep wiping. I'd like to get more of this darker green in there. And I'm thinking we'll leave it at that, Brett, and we'll see how we go when it comes out the mould, mate. I don't know if I can get that to the camera properly. So I've tried to push some down as deep as I can, but we won't know until we take it out the mould, mate, as to what we're going to get. So we'll leave it at that. We've got a bit of swirling in there, we've got the clear in there. The clear might take on a bit of a greeny tinge or a lime greeny tinge, but we'll see how that pans out. And like I said, no big drama. If I'm not happy with it, I don't think you'll be happy with it. But we'll have a look at it when we get it done, and then we can weigh it up from there, right? Right, let's have a, so these can go away now, and we'll get this one in the pressure pot. Finish my coffee. So we'll release the air again. Ah, yes, you wanted a coin in the bottom. Yep. We may have to do another one then, Mike, because we can't put the green in the bottom now. Let's just see how this one comes out, because it might be dark enough with the amount of tints and pigments I put in there. It may turn the clear dark enough that we can still put a coin in the bottom. The other thing we can do is we can put a little bit of tint in with the epoxy glue when we set the coin in, which would hopefully take the look of the metallic shining through the colour anyway. So there's a couple of things we can do, but we'll wait and see how it turns out. I'm just not sure how the blank itself will turn out, and that's my big thing. Hopefully it'll be okay, but if it's not, we'll just cast another one, mate. Okay, release the air in the pot. Wait till it gets to 0. You can't undo the screws when there's pressure in it as well, and they won't come out. A little bubble there, a couple of little bubbles there. Hoping the bottom ones are okay. They look okay. So we'll get this one in. I'm hoping. Now we've got a little bit of a leak too, I think, from somewhere. I just lost the, unless it was just sitting in the resin. It could have been sitting in the resin. I'm hoping I can just sit that one there. And I might put the air. I might just let the air go in really, really gently on this one, because it's going to be, I can go round there I suppose, but where's that going to be? That's going to be in the Y. Get it there. Yeah, I'll just need to let the air go in very gently, I think, because we're fairly close to the top of that mould. So just have to let it go in nice and slow, so we don't splatter resin everywhere. And we won't see the results of them until tomorrow now, guys. Well, till Sunday night probably, unfortunately, because it's colder, a lot colder now as well than when we done those earlier ones. We still had some warm nights, so the resin was going off a lot quicker, but now it's much colder and it's not going off as quick. So just slowly filling that up with air this time. Yeah, I'm more concerned about how the handle looks on that one. So like I said, it might be okay, but it might spread a bit of the colour. So we'll have a look at it when we get out of the mould, mate. Sunday night will be the deciding factor. And if we don't like the look of it come Sunday, then we'll just cast another one, mate. Okay, that's us at 50 psi. Knocking things over here. I've got to sort that airline, it keeps getting in the way. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe these down now. I'll do that one. And that'll do that one. They're junk. Put these away. I'll have a quick look in the chat. And I think we're all done. It's only a short one tonight, guys, an hour and a half. That's enough, eh? Ah, so you're not working on Sunday night? Well, that's good, mate. You'll be able to watch in on the stream. It might be a long one again Sunday night if we reveal these ones and turn the brush as well. Like I said, I'd like to be turning Razor's next brush as well, so we'll just see how we go with that. Worst comes to worst, I can do a reveal of the blanks on Sunday night, so I can reveal them, show you them, and then I might just turn one of these holographic ones. I might turn one of these holographic ones on Sunday night into a handle instead of knotting it, and do the reveal on the blank Sunday night as well. So we'll see, we've got plenty to do. And then like I said, I've got, once I get through your handles, guys, then I've got the handles for Surgeon that we can do. So there should be some nice handles in amongst that lot as well. They're going to be mainly timbers and stabilised timbers, and there's a couple I've got to try and fix up from a previous wooden ones that I done for Surgeon, and he had an issue with the knots cracking the timber. So that's how I found out, that's how we knew about your one, Razor, about the separation with the knots expanding. So like I said, I've got a couple there. They're just, he sent them up to me just to see if I can salvage and save them. So I thought, well, we might be able to cast them in a bit of resin, so they'll have timber on the bottom and resin on the top, and then he can reset knots in them again and still turn them into handles rather as wasted timber, because the timber's quite nice. So hopefully we can do that, and that'll fix up his handles, but we've got plenty to do. So one way or another, we'll have a brush to turn on, we'll have a new handle to turn on. Let me go to camera one. So we'll have a new handle to turn on Sunday, and we'll probably do the reveal of the, how many have we got? Five, six blanks there. We'll do the reveal of them on Sunday. So I'll get them all ready, I'll get them demolded, hopefully, all going well. And I'll have them here on the lathe, so we can have a bit of a look at them. Then we can make some decisions as to whether we like them or not. And then all going well, we can turn them into a few handles down the track in another stream. All right, guys. So look, thanks for coming in again. I think we had a few guys in there. We had about 5 or 6 in there at one stage, and we're still sitting on about 5 now. So thanks for dropping in, guys, and we'll see you the next time. And I'm just going to check the chat here and set up my end screen, just so we get ourselves organised. Yeah, plenty to keep you entertained, mate, that's for sure. Yep, all good. Yep, reveal Sunday night. Yeah, no, Razor's all good, mate. We're looking after Razor. He's all good. I just want to make sure I get this one right from this time, so we don't want any repeats of what happened the last time with the knot pushing the timber and the resin apart. So I've changed a fair few things now. The timber's all stabilised. We're not putting the black acrylic paint on the barrel now either. We're putting the Chameleon UV resin directly to the stabilised barrel, and then we're casting resin over the top of that. So the resin should bond to the resin really well, and the UV resin should actually bond very well to the stabilised timber, because it's basically resin now as well, or impregnated with resin. So hopefully we'll get a good bond between the three materials now, and we've taken out that fourth material, which hopefully will save an issue. But the other thing is that we're going to be setting knot into this one in the clear, and the timber barrel is going to be basically coming down from, you know, somewhere near the top, not quite the top, but somewhere near the top. The resin will come down, and it will come down into the bottom of the handle, and it'll taper out into the handle at the bottom, and then we'll have the acrylic around the other part. So it should still look quite nice, but what that'll do is it'll take the knot, because it's a big 30mm knot, and you know, they do take on a lot of water, so they expand and put a lot of force on the handle. So being set in the resin, and we'll keep the wall on the handle fairly thick as well, and being set in the resin, the brush should then stop pushing that apart. Okay, so yeah, that'll well and truly fix it this time. But I do still, one of these other ones that I'm doing, they're going to be handles that I'm going to make, and I'm going to set knots in them as well, but it may be my knots, it might not be the rhodiums, it might be the 2-band finest, or I might put some synthetics in them as well, and you know, they won't have the same impact on the amount of force that they exert on that material. So I think we'll be all good with that, guys. So anyway, it's all good, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again on Sunday night. So until then, I'm shutting the shed door down again, and we'll see you Sunday night. Thanks for dropping in, guys. Take care, I hope you have a good rest of the week, We'll see you on the weekend. Cheers, fellas. Ta-ra. Ta-ra.